but they are doing so in trying to put forward male figures, Tim Walz being one of them, Doug Emhoff last night, who can speak to men out there who might not be the sort of testosterone-laden, gun-toting kind of guy who wants to listen to Hulk Hogan and the kind of players that came out of the RNC, or might want to listen to that, but also, in addition, understand that it's okay in 2024 to be a man comfortable in his own skin who supports a woman. And that's something that they really are trying to work on with male voters beyond debate.
Abby, we were talking about this earlier, different definitions of masculinity in 2024.
Right.
And what we saw at Trump convention, which was, as you know, somebody, I forget exactly who said it, testosterone with Kid Rock and the Ultimate Fighting Champion guy.
Yeah, that guy.
And Hulk Hogan.
Dana White.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan actually ripped off his shirt.
I think I've stumbled on what exactly is happening. I believe that I have now found out what the heck is going on with the Democrat Party. Something has been going on for some time. It didn't feel quite right, especially if you're a guy. You probably said, this doesn't seem right. Why are they cutting off guys' junks? Why are they trying to convince guys to become women? Why are they doing everything, it seems, to quell what makes a man a man? Why are they trying to make everything toxic masculinity? Because that was the plan all along. There are certain things I'm really good at, and there's certain things I'm not good at. And one of the things that I'm not good at, and I've never been good at, is putting a puzzle together. I couldn't even put puzzles together when Ashley was a little girl, because it just doesn't work that way for me. Which is kind of weird, because when I'm doing software and editing videos and I try to put a story together, I can do that. But for some reason, seeing pieces of things over here and over there didn't make any sense to me. But now I'm starting to get a sense of what's going on. It took me a long time because it's so foreign to me. I bet it's foreign to many of you men out there. It's probably foreign to a lot of you women who are used to being around alpha males. We haven't seen this many beta cucks running wild in the jungle here as we're seeing these days, as evidenced by that one attorney from Minnesota that's trying to cover up for the Somalis. Somalis are great. How many of them are welfare? I don't know. Then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just coalescing, you're bowing, you're taking the knee. You don't want to have the friction. We need the Somalis because, I don't know, I can't do certain things and the Somalis are very virile or something. The people that they're courting, you find it interesting that the people that they want to import into our country, whether they're Somalians, whether they're Iranians, whether they're other nationalities, these are people who are male-oriented societies. Has it ever crossed your mind in that regard? The people who are coming from some of those, countries over there are heavily male-dominant, which is why they're going crazy in Sweden and in Italy and doing the crazy things they're doing. Venezuela, that's why Tres Leches did the stuff that they do. They're heavily male. They're very aggressive, very territorial. They find the most evil ways that they possibly can to do away with somebody. I mean, you imagine being in a gang and you say, hey, listen, we want to get rid of this rival gang member. Well, let's just toss him off a bridge or, put something in the back of his head. Not these people. They want to completely annihilate your body and leave nothing. I'm not trying to be disgusting, but I'm trying to point out that at the same time that they're trying to diminish the male species in America, they are importing dominant males. And it finally clicked in my head a couple days ago when I was watching this whole Maduro thing. And I'm realizing everything about what happened with Maduro, everything goes against what they stand for and what they want. They don't want people to be encouraged to be masculine. I don't know if you've ever thought about it. You're importing people from third world countries who are completely male dominated, who will eviscerate people who, carry that purple looking flag. They throw them off roofs. And I thought to myself, why would you bring these people here? And why would these people be protesting in the street wearing their flags and their scarves, knowing that they would pull that nose ring out of your face and they wouldn't care what came off with it? Why are these women talking and making statements about how everything from George, they're always in the street. They could never do that back in the other countries. Look for yourself. Look for yourself and see how over-dominantly male these societies are, while at the same time they're trying to clip the nuts of American men and boys. Literally. And as I started digging and doing some research, and I'm like, am I going to be able to talk about this today without getting censored? So I'm going to have to probably use some innuendos here because I think I stumbled upon something. So I want to show you. Let's at least start. And listen to this.
It is not worth responding to all or most of the crazy things that Trump officials say, but this one we have to deal with for a minute.
The United States of America is running Venezuela. By definition, that's true. Jake, we live in a world in which you can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else, but we live in a world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world.
But are you saying
since the beginning of time?
That's Stephen Miller, the most powerful policy voice in the White House.
All right, so before he goes, did Stephen Miller say anything wrong? We are living in a world that's governed by power. We are living in a world where other countries look at who they can take over and who they can't mess with. We're living in a world of complete male dominance. Yes, there are some women leaders in some of these countries, but they are run in terms of the military and things of that nature. You want your badass people out there. You want to make sure your dog is bigger than the other dog. And so Stephen Miller was absolutely correct. That is what we do. Not just because we're Americans, but that's because we want to make sure if you take a swing at us, we can take a swing at you. And sometimes taking a swing at you might be to our advantage to do it first. That's not how we've been governed lately. We have completely been supplicant. We have been completely acquiescing to the means and whims of other dictators and other leaders. Just don't hurt me. And now we have a president who's completely testosterone based and saying it ain't gonna happen. And we brought in somebody like Pete Hegseth, which now it also makes sense why they were so upset with him. If you remember back into his confirmation hearings, they kept talking about how, he was sleeping with women. He went to a conference and he at 4 o'clock in the morning, the chick came to his room. He did the bump fuzzy with her. And most guys were like, okay, what's your point? What exactly is your point? They even made up stuff to sound bad. Went all the way back to Brett Kavanaugh's high school days. He was at a kegger and he was with some chicks. And most normal guys went, yeah. What are you saying? He shouldn't be a judge because he went to a party with some chicks and then you made up some other story to go along with it. Hey, did you like beer? Remember that? Did you like beer? Did you used to go to keg parties? I'm sorry, I didn't know when I was a sophomore and junior in high school, it was going to dictate the rest of my life because I went to a keg party and I was checking out chicks. It's been going on for quite some time. And so now Pete Buttigieg, the guy who put on fake breasts so he could nurse the poor kid that's got to sit between he and his buddy, is having a problem because Stephen Miller is talking about some seriously toxic masculinity.
Saying that we live in a world where might makes right and whoever can beat up somebody else is going to get their way. This flies.
Yeah. That has been the nature of animals forever. Do you understand what he just said? He is trying to change the entire aspect of species. You're telling me that the one who can fight the best is going to be the one who's going to be, in charge. Go ahead and turn on a Discovery Channel. Yes, we walk, we have clothes, we eat dignified, unless, of course, you're, Mandami, then you eat like an animal anyway. But we're still animals. It's in our DNA. Well, most of our DNAs. I don't know what the hell happened to some of these people in the experiments that you people are making. But yeah, the big dog is the one who runs the pack. I didn't make it up. I didn't create that. You got a problem, you got to take it up with the big man. The big man, God. You got to take it up with him. They gave us this. They bestowed upon us this DNA, this testosterone, this chromosome. It wasn't you. It wasn't anything that was manufactured on Earth. It was provided. We were born this way. And every single species is the same for the most part. There's a few where, like the queen bee will, sting and kill you after she does you. But for the most part, turn on a Discovery Channel. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Hey, what do they, I see what they're doing. And then I'm seeing them fight. The other day, Robin and I were out on our deck, and I'm like watching these ducks. And she's like, are they mating? I'm like, I don't think they're mating. These ducks were fighting because they wanted to be with the chickie duck. And then I had to look up on Google. I said, well, ducks fight to the death? Did you ever think that you'd be watching Daffy Duck and realize that Daffy Duck was a violent duck? Until you see two ducks fight, you ain't seeing anything. We're sitting there, standing there looking at each other going, are those ducks fighting? Yeah, he was trying to kill the other duck to show off and take care of the lady duck. He didn't have to be taught that. The other one that was fighting him didn't have to be taught. I either got to fight or I'm going to die. Or I'm going to run away, which is, probably what Pete Buttigieg wants.
In the face of the whole point of what we have learned as a country and as a species, especially in the 20th century. One of America's greatest accomplishments was leading humanity out of that into...
That's an accomplishment? Now are you seeing it? Barry wasn't making it up. Now are you seeing it? They are saying that it is an accomplishment that they stopped masculinity. This guy was in our government, fake boobies and everything. And now they're telling you that it was our intention to stop it. That's not who we are anymore. We don't let the bigger dog decide what's going to happen, which is probably a surprise to many of you men and probably a surprise to many of you women. Because I'm pretty sure when you're laying in bed at night and you hear something rustling around outside, it's pretty much the elbow to the ribs. Honey, go check it out. Honey, go do something. Honey, the alarm went off. I've had that nudge. That's nothing. Don't worry about it. No, go see what it is. Why do I got to go see what it is? Because you're the man. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Hey, how come we don't have enough money? Well, I'm working on something. I hope it's going to turn out. Oh, that ain't going to be good enough. I can be poor on my own. Get your ass out there and find us some money. Hunter-gatherer. That term wasn't made up by me. Hunter-gatherer. Look it up. Look at the old caveman walking around with the club. I go out to hunt. I go get food. I'll bring it back. You cook it and have babies. This has been insidious. And it just came to me. I don't know. Maybe I was slow to it. Like I said, I didn't do puzzles, but I heard this and I went, wait a second. Wait, now it all makes sense. We tried to change all that. That's not who we are anymore.
A world where values and rules matter at least as much as brute force.
No, it has never mattered as much as brute force, because brute force enforces the damn rules. Don't come across this line. Don't jump this fence. Don't enter my house without being invited. Oh, you did it anyway? Now the brute force overtakes that rule. You broke the rule. It does not mean the same. It is never going to be equal values and rules versus brute force. Brute force makes sure the rules get enforced. These people have emaciated or tried to emaciate an entire generation. And again, as you're hearing this guy talk, you now realize this was the administration. And it gets me so heated because I have a grandson, and even when Ashley's having problems with him, it's the nature. He's a young boy growing into being a man. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, full of testosterone and rage. He's 16. I told Ashley, I said, get used to it. More coming. I can attest to it. You're just seeing the front end. You're seeing the front end of a 6'4", 240 pound 16-year-old going, this feels good. I can assert myself. Nobody taught him that. There was no manual and said, okay, when you turn 16, you're going to try to be Billy Badass until mom whoops your behind or dad takes you out to the woodshed, but you can't really stop it from happening. You're going to try and test your parents. You're going to try and test all the people around you. Nobody taught you that. Nobody taught me that. I know there's a lot of guys right now watching this going, yeah, that was me. I'm big man now. And then I hear this limp-wristed you-know-what talking about we shouldn't be this way. And then it dawned on me that's what they were trying to do.
And dragging us into the past with that kind of ideological bullshit will make Americans less safe.
When have you ever felt less safe with an imposing, defensive, aggressive man around you? Bro, I don't know what you're married to, and maybe you're the receiver and not I don't know. But everything you're saying now is what they've been trying to infect young boys with. And I've never heard it put this way, in the open anyways, the way he's doing it right here. And letting us know that they don't want men being men. And I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I'm not trying to demean women and women that are head of households. And there's been a lot of women like my mom. When you get divorced, you have to assume both roles. And my mom was a mongoose. My mother was a pit bull. She had to exhibit male tendencies to try and keep me in order and try to keep me from being completely nuts. Many of you guys who maybe were raised by single moms or grandmoms, that hey, you might seem like you're big badass outside this house, but when you get here, I'm still in charge, and all of your testosterone and aggressiveness, and you'd look at this woman who's half your size and like, and you would just cow down. But that's because it's your mom or your grandmom or somebody. They never try to eviscerate you, though. Even when my mom was trying to discipline me because she was too small, she could never, once I became 12, she couldn't exhibit any physical domination. Then she went to the psychological thing, but she never tried to diminish me as a young man. These people are trying to take that away from men.
It doesn't have to be this way.